Hello and welcome back to the garage again. This time on the bench I've got an engine that I seized myself. I was a little bit confused when this seized because the engine had been running brilliantly all day. I wasn't particularly lean on the carburetor jet settings, so I don't understand why this seized. So we're going to do some investigation, see if we can work out why.
Piston fires, the spark ignites, two-stroke heartbeat roars through the night, conrod's dancing.
So the first thing you're going to notice is that this engine still has the carburetor on it. I was unsure as to the reason why this engine seized. I was concerned that the problem may have been the carburetor, so I didn't want to run this carburetor on the next engine. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this carburetor, and then we're going to pressure test the engine to see if there's an air leak and if that was the cause. So we'll take the carburetor off. First thing to notice is the carburetor was not loose, so it won't have been sucking air in from where the carburetor mounts onto the engine, so that's a good sign. So take the carburetor off. I'm going to put the pressure testing equipment on. Now, if you haven't already seen my pressure testing video, I'll put a link to that up at the top here, so you can go and watch that, find out more details. So we've pumped this up to 10 psi, seems to be holding that pressure, so we don't think it was an air leak that's caused this. Just going to leave that to sit for a moment, see if it starts dropping.
A few moments later.
So we've left this for a little bit of time and it has dropped some pressure. We can actually hear there is some air leaking somewhere in this area of the engine. So let's have a closer look. So it sounds like there's some air leaking somewhere in this area. So we're going to pump this back up and we're going to spray some soapy water in the area to see if we can see where the leak is. So we have found an air leak from around this crank seal. However, if we look at the pressure gauge, it is very, very slow to drop. So it's unlikely this would be the root cause, unless when we turn the engine over, rotate the crankshaft, it suddenly leaks a lot more. After investigating for an air leak, we're now going to take off the cylinder head and look inside. So looking inside the cylinder, we can see there's some piston pickup on the cylinder wall. Clearly that is where the piston seized. And we can see very clearly that this transfer of material from the piston to the cylinder wall has happened in this area of the piston. The other thing we notice from this is that the top of the piston appears to have made contact with the cylinder head. And when we look at the cylinder head, we can see a little bit of discolouring where it matches this, but there's no heavy damage on this. This leads us to believe that something else is also going on. When we look deeper inside, what we actually find is that the big end bearing has picked up. This is probably why we've had some contact with the cylinder head. We need to work out why this has happened also. And if we look at the spark plug that came out of this engine, it doesn't look like it was particularly lean. It looks like it was probably about right, possibly on the edge of being too lean, but not too lean. So that then leads us towards looking at the carburetor. We know from having already checked the jet settings that they were in a sensible place. So what else could have caused this? Let's put a pop-off tester on this carburetor and see if that shows us anything. Now that is not a good sign. We've started pumping this carburetor up and it has not popped off. We're up to nearly 20 psi now and still not had a pop. And now it has popped off, but we were up at over 20 psi when it did pop. But now it's done that, it appears to be acting completely normally. This leads me to think that something went wrong with the carburetor and starved the engine of fuel at the end of the long straight. We think we know why this engine has seized, because something has gone wrong with the carburetor, has starved the engine completely of fuel at the end of the long straight whilst doing 19,000 RPM. If you take the fuel away completely at 19,000 RPM, that engine has no lubrication and will quickly suffer from a failure. So our next thing is to look at inside the carburetor and see if we can see a reason why it would have not popped off and why that would have starved fuel. So now we're going to continue our investigation. We're going to take this carb apart and see if there's anything we can see wrong. So we don't see anything wrong in this area of the carburetor, so now we're going to remove the jets and see if we can see anything in the ports. I'm going to take this to the van. I'm going to get an airline through the jet ports and see if there's any sort of blockage. So I took the carburetor out to the van and blew it out with an airline through the jets. What I did find was there was a small amount of debris that did come out of the jet holes. So it's quite possible that these had become blocked, and that is why it would not pop pressure, because the air could not escape through the jets. Could this be why our engine seized? It's inconclusive, but it's a possibility. So we're now going to put this into the ultrasonic cleaner, give it a good clean, give it a blow and a dry out with an airline, and we're going to rebuild it, and this should be good to go again. I'm not going to show the full rebuild process of this carburetor because we've already done a video on that. I'll put a link to that up the top. Go check it out. Learn how to rebuild one of these carburetors.
Piston fires, spark ignites, two-stroke heartbeat roars through the night. Conrod's dancing, crankshaft spins, bearings hum where the work begins. Screaming exhaust, 20,000 RPM strong, keep it tight, keep it rolling along, build 'em right. Spend time in the shop, on the track, ain't no room to stop. Grease-stained hands and a workbench view, dreams in metal, I'm seeing them through. Gears are grinding, the timing's just so. Sweat and patience make the engines go. Screaming exhaust, 20,000 RPM strong, keep it tight, keep it rolling along, build 'em right. Spend time in the shop, on the track, ain't no room to stop. Every lap's a story, every turn's a test. Out on the track, giving it my best. Workshop nights with a purpose clear. That engine song is what I wanna hear.
So now that we've rebuilt the engine and we've rebuilt the carburetor, what have we learned about why this engine failed? The truth is, we're still not 100% sure. It's probably a combination of things. We were running very close on the limit with the jet settings on the carburetor, so we're already running at a very lean point. We found a very, very small air leak from the engine. It's very unlikely that would have actually affected anything with the amount it was leaking. And we found a peculiarity with the carburetor. It's probably a combination of all of these things together that actually caused the failure. So the truth is, we'll never really know. Thank you for watching the video. If you've enjoyed this, please remember to like and subscribe. Check out some of our other videos about two-stroke and karting.